Hello everyone and welcome to your Chapter 10 quiz review. The first set of directions says use the diagram below to classify each circle part. And we do have a word bank here full of various vocabulary that we've learned so far this chapter. So let's color code. Y'all know I love to color code. This should have the segment symbol above it. It's saved a little bit weird whenever we formatted this, so we are fixing that for y'all's paper copy. We'll have y'all make that change. So segment L to Q. Well, that segment lies on a line that is only touching the circle one time at point Q. So that is going to be a tangent segment that lies on a tangent line. So that's going to be tangent because it's only touching the circle one time. What is X? So that's only 1 point, and that is the center of that circle that is on the right. That is the circle centered at X. What is segment PN? So starting at P going to N, that is going to be the radius of that circle. A radius of circle P, the circle centered at P, so that is going to be a radius. And then what is N to Q? So starting at N, going all the way across, going through the center, that is going to be, NQ is going to be a diameter of that circle. That is a diameter of circle P. Okay, now I want y'all to notice something. As soon as we get to this next part, it says angle MPQ. So starting at M, going to P as the vertex, and then Q, that is going to create a central angle. That is an angle that comes out of the center. So we're going to call that a central angle. Okay, and then the next format that changes is they change this to an arc symbol. So I'm going to be looking for an arc of the circle, going from W to Y. W to Y is going to be classified as a minor arc because it is less than 180 degrees. So that is a minor arc. All right, let's start again. On this next problem, they want you to find segment WY. What is W to Y? W to Y in this picture starts on the circle and stops on the circle. That is going to be a chord. W to Y is going to be a chord in the circle centered at X. Then they go back to an arc RW to U, so starting at R, going through W, and then coming all the way around to U. That's named with 3 letters. That is a major arc. It measures more than 180 degrees. So that is going to be a major arc. Then they switch back and they say, okay, let's go look at another angle. Let's find this angle UXY, U to X to Y. So again, this is going to be another central angle. It's an angle coming out of the center. That is a central angle. All right, what is point R? Let's change colors. Point R. Point R is going to be a point of tangency. That point of tangency. That circle, both of those circles are touching that point one time. That's where they overlap. All right, Q to R. Where is Q to R? Starting at Q, going to R is also going to be a chord. And what is U to X? U to X is going to be a radius in this picture. Okay. Last set. Now this, I do want you to notice notation. This is usually they have this as written above it, like a line. So it's just scooted over. Again, we're going to have that fixed for y'all. But what is line UY? So let's change colors. Line U to Y. That line is going through this circle twice. It touches this and intersects it twice. So we're going to call that a secant line. That is a secant line. So what is S to T? S to T falls here. This is touching each circle once, and so we're going to call that a tangent line. So we have a secant line, and then we have a tangent line. All right, what is arc MQ? MQ. So starting at M, arcing around the circumference to Q, that is going to be a minor arc. That arc is minor. Okay, what about QRN? So starting at Q, going through to R, and then to N. This is exactly half of a circle. That is going to be called a semicircle. It's named with 3 letters, the arc over it. What is angle UXR? So angle U to X to R is going to be another central angle. So that is a central angle. And then what is arc R, U, Y, R to U to Y. Okay, that is going to be half of a circle, and that is a semicircle. Okay. So I'm going to clear out this picture so you can see it a little bit better with all the letters there for the key, but we are just naming each of those things in the circle. All right, so number 1, the directions say solve for the indicated value in number 1 and number 2. So these are, what we're doing right now is we have this circle centered at B, and we have a bunch of central angles going on. So how do I find angle HBI, H to B to I? That central angle is going to be a linear pair with a 151. So 180 minus 151, let's go ahead and write that out in pink, 180, that linear pair, minus 151 is going to give me 29 degrees. That is 29 degrees. So what is the measure of arc I to G? I to G. So starting at I, that arc right there. So how do I find that arc? Well, it's going to be the sum of G to H and H to I, those two arcs together. So we know that since there is a 90-degree angle right here, I can copy that 90-degree angle right here because those make a linear pair, so that has to be a right angle. And we just found that this angle right here is 29 degrees, so it is going to be 90 plus 29. 29 I just found. So what is 90 plus 29? That is going to give me a sum of 119 degrees, 119, for that arc in yellow, 119 degrees. All right, what is the measure of arc JGH? So starting at J, going through G, and then stopping at H. That is going to be a semicircle. We know that a semicircle is 180 degrees. It has this with, here's my diameter, that cuts the circle in half, so that's going to be 180 degrees. And then what is H to J to I? H to J to I, I'll do that in blue. So this one was done in purple. This one was done in blue. H to J to I would be, starting at H, major arc going through J, and then stopping at I. So that's almost the full circle, but it's the full circle minus the 29 degrees. So that's going to be 360 minus the 29 degrees that I did not use for the arc, and that is going to give me 331 degrees. All right, this next one, we want to find the measure of arc AC. This should be minor. It should be less than 180 degrees. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is notice that I have my 43-degree angle. I've got a 90-degree angle, so I can find the missing pieces if I wanted to. I could go ahead and do 180 minus 90 minus 43. That's going to give me 47 degrees here. Why does that help me? Well, because these are vertical angles. And so now I've got 90 here. And so I'm going to go ahead and find all my pieces. I could go ahead and do I could do 360 minus 47 minus 47 minus 43 minus 90, and that gives me 133 degrees. I have found all of my central angles, and so now that helps me to solve for all these pieces. So what is going to be AC? That's going to be 90 plus 47. That's going to give me 137 degrees. What about angle? So we switched to central angle. We switched to arc ACD. So starting at A, going through C, and then stopping at D. That is going to be a major arc, so that would be 360. 360 minus what I did not spend at 90. So 360 minus 90 is going to give me a 270-degree major arc. How do we find E to D to C? So starting at starting at E, going through D, and then stopping at C. That is going to be 47 plus 133. 47 plus 133. That is going to give me 180 degrees. That is a semicircle. Okay, so I didn't recognize that right away. Here's my diameter. That is a semicircle, so it should be 180. So that confirms that for us. And then last but not least, we also want to find arc EBD. E to B to D. Starting at E, going through B, stopping at D. So that's going to be all the way around the circle minus the 47 degrees. So when I write that out, I'm going to do, that was a full circle, 360 minus that 47. It stopped short of this 47. So 360 minus 47 is going to give me 313 degrees.